to Video Podcast number 74. Now, you know, I got to laugh at myself sometimes. Just yesterday, I said, what did I say? You know me. I always have these invalid predictions. Like yesterday, I said 90% chance this is going to be my last free video for this week. And now I'm right back the next day. This is the second week in a row, actually, that I've done 2 videos 2 days in a row. Because, yeah, just last week I did 2 videos 2 weeks in a row. And now I'm doing it again. As you know, well, the last few free videos I've done, well, first of all, you notice I'm in another room in my new digs. I keep moving around. This is the most I've ever moved around on my video podcast. In my old place, I pretty much stayed in the exact same spot, like 100% of the time. I don't think I ever moved from that same spot in my old place. But in my new place, yeah, this is like, I think the 5th different, I've done like 3 different angles in my, wait, no, this might be the 6th. Yeah, because I did 2 videos from 2 different angles in my dining room. I did 2 or 3 different angles in my home office. And this is my second video I've done in my living room. As you can see, my posters behind my head. I love Heat, which was written and directed by my favorite director, Michael Mann. And on this, wait, I got my wrong hand. Wait. Collateral. You know, I've seen Collateral. I was just in DC a couple weekends ago, as most of you know. And some of my college classmates would tease me when I told them how many times I had seen both Heat and Collateral. I've seen Collateral probably combination of the number of times I saw it at the movie theater, number of times I saw it on cable, and the number of times I saw it on DVD. I've probably seen Collateral somewhere between 90 to 100 times. And that's not a joke or exaggeration. I've seen that movie at least no less than 90 times. Heat, I've seen Heat probably no less than 50 times. And they were teasing. They was like, oh my God, I didn't know people watch movies that many times. That's crazy. That's what my friends were telling me. Yeah, I'm a movie buff. I'm a major movie buff. And there's a lot of movies I've seen multiple times. Like most people, when they talk about seeing a movie multiple times, they talking like 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Shoot, I've seen movies more than 5 times just at the movie theater alone, not including cable and or DVD, just at the movie. Like, okay, strictly at the movie theater, here's the movies I've seen the most at the movie theater. Dark Knight Rises. I saw The Dark Knight Rises 9 times at the movie theater. That's just at the movie theater alone. I saw The Dark Knight Rises 9 times. Second most movie is Heat. There I go again, wrong hand. Heat, that you see the poster behind me. I've seen Heat. I saw Heat 8 times at the movie theater. 8 times at the movie theater. Next to those 2, the next would be, I think, 3 movies I've seen 5 times. I saw Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy. I saw that 5 times at the movie theater. I saw The Dark Knight 5 times at the movie theater. And there's one more movie I saw. For some reason, I can't remember. I think it was Risky Business. If I'm not mistaken, Risky Business. I saw Risky Business 5 times at the movie theater. Collateral, I saw 4 times at the movie theater. Batman Begins, I saw 4 times at the movie theater. A movie called Executive Decision with Kurt Russell and Halle Berry, I saw 4 times at the movie theater. Aliens, with Sigourney Weaver. I saw that 4 times at the movie theater. And I think one of the Star Wars movies. Either Star Wars or The Empire Strikes Back, I saw 4 times at the movie theater. And there's a bunch of movies I saw 3 times. I can't even name the number of movies I saw at least 3 times at the movie theater. So yeah. But yeah, those 2 movies you see the posters for, yeah, I've seen each of those movies more times total. Again, in terms of combination of movie theater, television, and DVD/VHS, I saw Heat at least 50 times and Collateral at least 90 times. Anyway, I didn't do this video to talk about, oh, you know what I did? I did it again. I forgot my drink. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. See, I like the lighting in here in the living room better. That's one of the reasons why I was trying this out. In my home office, when I hold up these bottles, there's too much light on the cover of these. But this lighting is about just right. Now, as you know, most of the time I do free videos, with the exception of my last 2 to 3 free videos. They usually center around a rant, a ramble, an admonishment, or me addressing feedback from listeners, viewers, and even more specifically addressing feedback from my haters and critics. Again, I went away from that. My last 2 to 3 free videos have centered around the whole Me Too movement issues. But I wrote an article that was published on Monday for the Negro Manosphere. You will find it below in my comments section. And if you always want to give me feedback for any of my videos, do so in the comments section below. Also, my relevant and important links are in the description section below. You can also give me feedback on my videos, not consultation questions, but feedback on my videos at coaching@mo1.net, coaching@mo1.net, or through my Facebook pages. Quick note, I'm going to also be doing a $10 Patreon exclusive video either later on today or at the latest sometime tomorrow morning. And also, I'm having a live stream, Patreon exclusive live stream, my second one, at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Thursday. That will probably be my last video before the Christmas holiday. I'm going to be doing a live stream video tomorrow. You have to be a Patreon subscriber. It's going to be for my $5 and up Patreon subscriber. My last live stream test was for my $10 subscribers and up. This one is going to be for my $5 subscribers and up. So yeah. Here's the reason why I want to do this video. I don't want to take too long with this video. But again, I did a Negro Manosphere article that's posted below. And it was called The Intense Competition or Intense War Between Black Male YouTube Hosts. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback on that article. Because as you know, I've been engaged in at least one major back and forth beef with another black male YouTube host. And then on a lesser level, I probably had at least 2 or 3 other minor beefs with other black male. I don't think I've gotten into any YouTube beefs with either non-black male host, at least none I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had an ongoing beef with a non-black male YouTube host. And also, I've never had an ongoing beef with any black female YouTube hosts. But yeah, I've had at least one major back and forth beef with another YouTube host, and about maybe 2 or 3 minor, short-lived beefs. So anyway, O'Shea Duke Jackson, who's the editor-in-chief of the Negro Manosphere website, he gave me some kudos on the article. In the article, I basically divide all black men, whether they be YouTube hosts or followers of YouTube hosts, I divide all black men into 5 factions. I said there's at least 5 factions of black men on YouTube. Again, whether they be a YouTube host or a follower, enthusiastic and loyal follower of a YouTube host. So I know some of my non-black listeners and viewers are like, hey, Alan, I don't know about these factions. I don't know if I qualify because I'm not black. And yeah, for my non-black listeners and viewers, hey, you got to deal with some of my black stuff sometimes. But yeah, I divide all the black men into 5 categories. And that would be faction number 1, I call the anti-gynocracy and anti-feminism faction. Most of their commentary centers around contesting the idea of the United States being a gynocentric society and a highly feministic society. That's faction number 1. Faction number 2 would be what I call the bitter misogynist and or I hate all black women faction. There's some black men on YouTube that they just want nothing to do with black women, and they're going to let you know that they want nothing to do with black women. They don't want to date them. They don't want to marry them. They don't want to have casual sex with them. They don't want nothing to do with black women. That's faction number 2. Faction number 3 would be what I call the white knight. White knight black male feminist faction. These are black men who will always defend black women on probably 19 out of every 20 things they're accused of. If black women are accused of 20 things, these black men are going to defend them on at least 19 of those 20 things. That's a black male, that's a white, what's known as a white knight. He's going to co-sign with just about all of black women's harsh criticisms of black men. That's the white knight faction. 4th faction would be what I call the anti-monogamy / advocate for tricking faction. There's a lot of black men that they don't believe in marriage. They don't believe in long-term monogamous relationships, particularly with black women and also particularly with American women. Now, if they were, in other words, if they were engaged in marriage or long-term relationships, their preference is to hook up with a woman that's from another country. And also, these men are advocates, enthusiastic advocates for tricking. In other words, hooking up with a prostitute, a call girl, erotic escort, or having a sugar baby. They don't believe in no real long-term relationships. Again, with the exception of if it's a non-American woman. But if it's an American woman, they only believe in tricking. That's faction number 4. And then the final faction is the faction I most prominently fall into, and that would be the dating coach / relationship expert faction. The black men who earn their living as a dating coach and or a relationship advisor. So anyway, I received, like I said, I received a lot of positive feedback. But there was one brother on Facebook, because O'Shea posted my article on Facebook, and I have it on my timeline. And he said he disagreed with my 5 factions. He basically said, no, and I don't have his comments in front of me, so I'm going to be paraphrasing as I tend to do. But he essentially said, I don't believe in all those 5 factions. He said, I believe there's really only 2 factions of guys who don't see eye to eye on social media and on YouTube. And that's the blue pill faction and the red pill faction. He said, beyond those 2 factions, I don't think there's any other factions. I just think there's your blue pill faction and your red pill faction. And then I wrote him a response saying I respectfully disagree with that. And that's the purpose of this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is refresh the memories. Now, some of you always like to assume that there's some people who listen to me that may be ignorant to a lot of these manosphere terms that are used. I think most people who are long-standing members of the manosphere, whether it's the black manosphere, the universal manosphere, the Asian manosphere, whatever, you know, they're familiar with most of the terminology that's used in the manosphere, but there's some people who may not be. So for those of you who are ignorant to a lot of these terms, here's essentially the difference between blue pill and red pill. Blue pill, if you're a man who holds on to a lot of blue pill beliefs, attitudes, thoughts, desires, expectations, what that simply means is you still believe in relationships the way they were in the early part of the 20th century. Which, as you know, in the first 4 to 5 decades of the 20th century, most dating and relationships centered around long-term monogamous relationships that were going to directly lead to marriage. That's how most relationships were in the first 4 to 5 decades of the 20th century. They all centered around long-term monogamous relationships that were going to ultimately lead to marriage. If you still hold on to that belief that most women only want to be involved in a long-term, strictly monogamous relationship that's going to ultimately lead to marriage, and more specifically a happy marriage, that means you're a blue pill guy. Plain and simple. That means you're a blue pill guy. You look at things at minimum from what I would call a traditional perspective, and at maximum, I would say you look at things from a somewhat innocent, naive perspective. At minimum, you look at things from a traditional perspective. At maximum, you look at things from a very innocent and naive perspective. Particularly, you look at women's behavior from either a traditional perspective or an innocent, naive perspective. That would mean you're a blue pill. Red pill, a red pill guy is someone who's been awakened to the fact or enlightened to the fact that women are not quite as traditional as they've been led to as they were initially led to believe they were, and even more specifically that women are not nearly as prudish and or monogamy oriented as they were initially led to believe that women were. That means you're red pill. For example, if in your teenage years or your young adult years, you firmly believe that most women were prudish or semi-prudish, along with most women were strictly monogamy oriented and all about long-term, strictly monogamous relationships that will lead to marriage. But then you had an experience where you realized that women were kinkier than you initially thought they were, that they were more promiscuous than you initially thought they were, that they were more highly manipulative and materialistic than you initially thought they were, that they were more spoiled than you initially thought they were, that they are more disrespectful towards men than you initially thought they were, etc., etc., then that means you're red pill aware. You're red pill, what's known as red pill aware. Okay, you get it? Got it? Good. Now, again, this guy said that he thinks that the only division between men on social media, and particularly on YouTube, is between blue pill types and red pill types. I vehemently disagree. I vehemently disagree. I would say there are a lot of blue pill guys that don't see eye to eye with other blue pill guys. So I wouldn't say that all, number one, I wouldn't say that all blue pill guys are unified. I've seen guys who have blue pill beliefs, attitudes that tend to at least occasionally clash with other blue pill types. So they're not all unified. And I would say even more so, I would definitely say there's no unification between all red pill guys. Hell no. I'm being real. Hell no. Like, I consider myself a red pill guy. I've been red pill aware technically, I would say, ever since my senior year in high school. And even before I knew what the term red pill aware meant, I was red pill aware. And definitely since I've been on social media, I've gotten into spirited debates or heated debates and contentious debates with other guys who are red pill. So for anyone to suggest that all red pill guys are somehow unified in their thinking, in their beliefs, attitudes, and their overall thinking, that's bullshit. That's total bullshit. I know a lot of red pill guys that don't see eye to eye. And I'm going to go into detail, hopefully not too long. I'm at about 22, 23 minutes right now. I want to keep this under an hour. But here's how I'm going to explain. Here's what I would propose are at least minimum the three main perspectives of red pill guys. The three main perspectives of red pill type guys. Red guys who are known as red pill aware. Okay, I'm going to break it down, hopefully using what I consider to be a very simplistic scenario that will help you understand why I feel that very strongly that there's at least three different perspectives of red pill guys. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, man. Messed up my living room table putting that bottle on there. Matter of fact, speaking of that, I got these cute coasters, man. Here's one of my coasters. And use a fucking coaster. Here's another one. Here's one of my coasters in my living room. Don't fuck up the table. Please don't fuck up the table. That's another one of my coasters. And here's one that's just basic. This is a basic coaster. So yeah, I'm now going to put this on this. That's my basic coaster. Okay, here's the basic scenario that explains the three different types of red pill perspectives in the manosphere. Okay, let's start with a couple, a married couple. I'm going to use all the names starting with T for this scenario. All the names are going to begin with T. So let's say there's a married couple, Thomas and Tanya. Thomas and Tanya. Got that? If you need to, write it down. Thomas and Tanya. They're a married couple. Thomas is a handsome, charming guy, and Tanya is a beautiful, wholesome-looking woman. And they're married, and they got two beautiful kids, one son and one daughter. And Tanya is just a great mother to the two children, okay? So on paper, to the average outside observer, they look like the happiest married couple in the world, okay? You got that? Thomas and Tanya, the seemingly happy married couple, okay? Now, if you just examine their life being an outside observer, you would think it would make you believe in the blue pill world, because you would say, man, they met each other, Thomas wooed her and courted her, and he finally proposed to her. They got married, and they look like they're on the way to living happily ever after. What an endorsement for the blue pill way of thinking. Now, if you saw the movie American Beauty, I told you I'm a movie buff. You know that most blue pill thinking is naive at best. Okay. So here's where the monkey wrench comes in. Behind closed doors, Tanya is cheating on Thomas with this womanizing bad boy named Tyrone. Tyrone is this just womanizing bad boy. He's kinky, he's nasty, he's erotically dominant, and he's just an incorrigible womanizer. He's a player. Okay? And he knows how to handle his business in the bedroom. So he's fucking Tanya initially behind Thomas's back. Thomas initially has no idea that his beautiful, wholesome looking wife Tanya is fucking Tyrone, that womanizing bad boy, behind his back. But guess what? Among other things, Tanya has a girlfriend named Tammy. Now, Tammy was attracted to Tyrone, but Tyrone wouldn't give Tammy any dick because he said she was a little too chunky and not quite attractive enough for her. So he wouldn't give Tammy no dick. Tammy wanted some of Tyrone's dick, but Tyrone wouldn't give Tammy any dick. So to get her revenge, guess what she does? Because Tanya was foolish enough to trust Tammy with her confidential information, and Tanya told Tammy, I know that's a lot of T's, Thomas, Tanya, Tammy, Tyrone, yeah, they're all T's. I hope I don't get flubbed by my own T's. Tanya trusted, I thought it was a tongue twister. Tanya trusted Tammy about her fucking Tyrone. But again, Tammy wanted some of Tyrone's dick, but Tyrone wouldn't give Tanya any dick. I mean, see, I just fucked up all these T's. Tyrone did give Tanya some dick, but Tyrone wouldn't give Tammy no dick. And Tammy is Tanya's best friend. You get it? Get it? Got it good. So what does Tammy do out of spite? She tells Thomas that his wife Tanya has been fucking Tyrone behind his back. And Thomas, upon hearing this, receiving this information, he confronts Tanya about what he heard from Tammy. And Tanya initially denies it, but then she starts crying and she confesses that yes, she has been fucking Tyrone behind Thomas's back. Okay? You got it so far? Let me recap. Thomas is married to Tanya. They got 2 kids, 1 son, 1 daughter. They look like the happily married couple, but there's a dark secret because Tanya has been fucking Tyrone behind Thomas's back. And the reason Thomas now knows about that is because Tanya was foolish enough to confide in her close friend Tammy about the fact that she was fucking Tyrone. And the reality is, Tammy, the friend, wanted Tyrone to fuck her, but Tyrone didn't give her any dick. So out of spite, she told Thomas about Tanya fucking Tyrone. I know, that's tongue twister like a motherfucker, ain't it? Now here's the final piece of the puzzle. Just like Tanya has a close friend named Tammy, Thomas has a good friend named Theodore. All these motherfucking T's. He got a close friend named Theodore. Now Theodore, bless his heart, Theodore is a guy who's never been married, never had a fiance, never even had a long-term girlfriend. He's barely had sex, period. He's like 2 steps above a virgin. He had sex 1 time with some real unattractive chick, and beyond that, he's only had sex with some prostitutes a handful of times. So he's never really, he's a guy who's generally been ignored by women. Women have never really given him too much romantic or sexual attention. So Theodore is a guy who's very romantically and sexually frustrated. Okay, you got that? He's very romantically and sexually frustrated. Now, Thomas, in his frustration about finding out that his wife Tanya was cheating on him with Tyrone, that he found out from Tammy, he confides in Theodore about his frustrations. Now, Theodore, bless his heart again, he has a Facebook group called All Women Ain't Shit But Hoes, Sluts, and Gold Diggers. He's been warned a few times by Facebook to change the title of his group, but so far they've been letting him go. But that's his private Facebook group is called All Women Ain't Shit But Hoes, Sluts, and Gold Diggers. That's his Facebook group. And the guys in his Facebook group love Theodore. They love him. Because, man, he be telling them how women really are. He like, man, all these women ain't shit out here. They ain't nothing but hoes, sluts, and gold diggers. That's all they are. Hoes, sluts, and gold diggers. That's what they are. And he's like, I can't stand none of them. I can't stand all these hoes, sluts, and gold diggers. You know. Matter of fact, first he had in there, they ain't all women are nothing but hoes, sluts, gold diggers, and bitches. But he made his title too long, so he had to take off bitches, but he left the rest. He left the rest on there. So he's beloved by the guys in his Facebook group. Because most of the guys in the Facebook group are just like him. They never had a wife. They never had a fiance. They never had a long-term girlfriend. Some of the guys in his Facebook group are virgins, and other guys, they've only had sex maybe with a couple prostitutes before. Okay, you get it? You got the story so far? You get it? Got it? Good. Okay. Here's the thing. Now, I'm going to try to diminish my lightheartedness and get more serious. Here's going back to my main objective, which was to point out the three perspectives of guys who are red pill aware. Do you think Tyrone, Thomas, and Theodore are going to have the same perspective on women, even though technically they're all red pill aware? Think about that. Do you think that Tyrone is going to view women in the exact same way as Thomas? And do you think Thomas is going to view women in the exact same way as Theodore? And do you think Theodore is going to view women in the exact same way as Tyrone? Come on, man. Come on. Wake the fuck up. No. Even though, again, on paper, I feel a burp coming. You know, don't you hate that feeling when you know a burp is trying to come, but it won't come? I hate that feeling. Man, that is the most awkward feeling. Oh, speaking of that, tell them some of my personal medical business. You know, I had to go to the emergency room the other night. You know me and my various physical ailments. I already know I got type 2 diabetes that I'm trying to reverse. I had some foot problems. I had some diabetic nerve problems. What else? Physical related ailment problems. Almost lost my right eyeball in 2016. Man. I've had a lot of shit, man. My most recent thing, I had a case of major heartburn. Something called GERD. Never heard of that until the other night. I suffered, I don't know if I still suffer, but at least that, if only for that one night, I suffered from what's known as GERD. G-E-R-D. It's similar to what's known as acid reflux. You know, your stomach is full of acid. That's how it breaks down your food in order to digest it. Your stomach is full of acid. If your acid goes up your esophagus, that's what causes heartburn. Or in my case, they said it was a case of GERD, G-E-R-D. Yeah, man, I had to go to the emergency room. What's today? Today is Wednesday, so Monday night. Yeah, Monday night, man. I wasn't even at home, man. I was in the emergency room all night, man. Felt like I was having a heart attack. Now, I'm not trying to be melodramatic, man. I thought I was having a heart attack, man. That's how bad it hurt, man. My chest and stomach was hurting like really, really bad, man. And it turns out I ate some bullshit. My brother always gets on my case about it. I try to eat healthy, and I do think I eat healthy probably at least 80 to 90% of the time, but every now and then I bought something like microwavable meal that just fucked up my stomach. And yeah, I had to go to the emergency room Monday night, man. Yeah, again, I thought I was having a heart attack, but it turns out it was GERD. So Alan Roger Curry got to take better care of himself. And you know, I'm gonna tell you something. I appreciate some of you listeners and viewers, man. Some of you listeners and viewers will come in my comment section, and you guys will say, "Hey, Alan, great video. By the way, here's a tip on, how to reduce your sugar in your diet. Here's a tip on how to get rid of the pain in your foot. Here's a tip on how to eat better." That lets me know that you guys are genuinely concerned about Alan Roger Curry's health. Yeah, I had one guy, he wrote me, he was just real. He said, "Alan, I want you to keep healthy, man, so you can help me get some pussy, man. I can't have you dying on me, man. You can't be dying on me. I'm going to be lost with women without you, man." So he said, "Man, you guys, I got to keep you alive, man." So he sent me all these links with all these health-related advice and stuff related to healthy eating, exercise, nutrients, vitamins, all kinds of shit, man. See, that's what I love. I got some haters and critics out there, but on the exact opposite end, man, I got a lot of listeners and viewers that love me to death, and I love them right back, man, because they really care about the old man's health, man. I appreciate that. I really do. Now back to my story. Okay. Here's the deal, man. Tyrone is not going to look at women in the same way that Thomas does. Thomas not going to look at women in the same way as Theodore does. And none of them are going to look at women the exact same way. And I've kind of, if not talked about this before, if not talked about it directly, I've at least alluded to this before. And this is why I disagree with this guy who said that, he didn't really say, at least he suggested or implied that all red pill type guys are kind of on the same page. And he said the only divisions that really exist is between red pill guys and blue pill guys. That's bullshit. And definitely on the red pill end, that's bullshit. Because again, I'm asserting that you have at least 3 different types of red pill guys. I'll nickname them. You got your Tyrone type red pill guys. You got your Thomas type red pill guys. And you got your Theodore type red pill guys. And those guys, they're going to agree on some things about women, some things that are said about women's behavior, but on other issues, they're going to have total disagreements. They're going to end up getting into debates with each other. Here's why. I'll start with Tyrone. And honestly, I think you guys know from what I've told you about myself, what I've shared with you about my personal life and some of my experiences with women, I would say out of those 3 guys, the one I'm most aligned with would be my character of Tyrone. I am a guy who is red pill primarily because I've had women cheat with me. I've had women cheat with me. Okay? Like Tyrone in this scenario. I've had women cheat with me, starting with my senior in high school. Starting with my senior in high school, man, I used to have women who had serious boyfriends that used to just throw the pussy at me, including the girlfriends of some of my closest male friends. Matter of fact, I admitted on one video, I actually ended up fucking one of my high school classmates' girlfriends, and it caused us to fall out for the next 3 years. And I would say overall, between roughly the age of 17 and 38, 39, I probably had sex minimum with about 3 dozen women that had husbands, fiancés, or long-term boyfriends. Yeah, I would estimate I've had sex between the age of 17 and the age of roughly 38, 39. I had sex with about somewhere between 35 to 40 women that had a husband, a fiance, or long-term boyfriend at the time I had sex with them. So that's where I gained most of my red pill knowledge and wisdom from. And I've said that before. That's where my red pill awareness came from. My red pill awareness about women came from women cheating with me. So out of those 3 guys, Tyrone, Thomas, and Theodore, the red pill types that are going to have the least amount of bitterness and resentment towards women is going to be the Tyrone types. Those are going to be the guys that's going to have the least amount of bitterness and resentment towards guys. Why? Because they're red pill, but they're also womanizing alpha males. To put it in simple, blunt terms, the Tyrone types of the world, they benefited from the fact that women are scandalous and adulterous and unfaithful. They benefited from that shit. So why would they have any high degree of bitterness or resentment towards women? They've benefited from the fact that women's character is flawed. Just like I have. I mean, I'm just going to keep shit real. I've benefited, at least sexually, I've benefited from the fact that women have a scandalous nature about them, an unfaithful nature about them, a duplicitous nature about them, and an adulterous nature about them. I've benefited from that. So I'm not going to really have no bitterness or anger, frustration, or bitterness or resentment towards women because of that. I've benefited from it. It's just like all the what I would call Tyrone types of the red pill world have. They benefited from the fact that women are scandalous as fuck. So they're not going to have any bitterness towards women. So their perspective is going to be different. They have a red pill perspective on women, but their red pill perspective is going to be more along the lines of, that's just how women are. Women are who they are. They're not going to have any like undertones of anger or bitterness or resentment. It's going to be more like just a matter of fact type deal. Like, that's just how women are. Women are who they are. Then the next level up in terms of, I would say in terms of resentment and bitterness would be the Thomas type guys. Guys who have predominantly been cheated on. Guys who their red pill awareness of women came from being cheated on. Or some guys who fall into the Thomas archetype have experienced both. They've either just experienced being cheated on, or in some cases, they've experienced both. They've had at least 1 or 2 women that cheated with them, and then they've had multiple women that cheated on them. So they can kind of see things from both perspectives. That's your Thomas types. Now, Thomas, he's going to have a certain degree of you could say, of bitterness towards women, but not that much. Because on the positive end, he's always been able to at least attract women to the point where they wanted to be his wife, or wanted to be his fiance, or wanted to be his long-term girlfriend. So he's had success with women in that area in terms of being able to attract women to at least be motivated to become his wife, his fiance, his long-term girlfriend. But he's just had the unfortunate experience of having 1 or more women that he really cared for cheat on him. Now, he loved, like in Thomas' situation, he loves the fact that Tanya gave birth to a handsome, healthy son of his. a beautiful, healthy daughter of his. She helped raise those 2 kids with him. So it's not like she's been a horrible mother. She's been a really good mother to his 2 children. You know, they built a nice life for themselves together. But it just so happened she gave in to her lustful desires and was fucking Tyrone behind his back. So again, Thomas is going to have a certain degree of bitterness. But not that profound. Not that profound. I would even arguably say that was burp. Ooh. Burp number 2. I knew it. I told you I felt that burp coming. It just hadn't come yet. In some cases, your Thomas types, they're only going to have bitterness specifically towards the women that they've dealt with, not towards women as a whole. Most of their bitterness is going to be directed at the specific women that they dealt with, such as their current wife, ex-wife, current girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, current fiance, or former fiance. At least half the time, they're going to limit their bitterness and resentment directly towards the women that they dealt with. But in some cases, they might allow that bitterness to expand to women who they've never been in a relationship with. The final and third perspective of the red pill type guys is going to be your Theodore types. I would say on the bitterness scale, they're going to actually be your worst. Out of the 3 types of guys, the guys that's going to have the most bitterness towards women, the highest degree of bitterness, resentment, and anger towards women, is definitely not going to be your Tyrone types, and for the most part, it's not going to be your Thomas types. It's going to be your Theodore types. Why? Because, see, you have a lot of guys, and I would say this represents a lot of guys in social media and who I look at their comments here on YouTube. There's a lot of guys who are like Theodore. In other words, they've never had a woman cheat with them, and they've never been successful with women enough to even have a woman cheat on them. They've never been married. They've never been engaged to be married. They've never been even in a long-term boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with a woman. They've never even had really multiple casual sex lovers. Some of them are virgins, and the ones who are not virgins are extremely inexperienced with women sexually and romantically. So when a guy like Theodore hears about the unfortunate experiences of a Thomas being cheated on by his wife Tanya with Tyrone, who Tammy wanted to fuck Tyrone, but Tyrone wouldn't give Tammy any dick. So Tammy opened up her big mouth and spilled the beans to Thomas, and that's how Thomas found out that his wife Tanya was cheating with Tyrone, and then he chose to share that with Theodore. Now Theodore has gone into his private Facebook group that's called All Women Ain't Nothing But Hoes, Sluts, and Gold Diggers, and Bitches, but he had to take bitches off because it was making his title too long. Now, see, this is how guys do. Thomas told Theodore to keep this to himself. He said, hey, Theodore, you my friend. We went to college together, you know. I'm sharing this to you in confidence. And Theodore at the time says, yeah, okay, Thomas, man, I ain't going to share with nobody. I ain't going to share with nobody. But what does Theodore do? He goes right into his Facebook group and says, hey, y'all, hey, fellas, man, I got another reason to let y'all know that women ain't shit, man. They ain't shit. They ain't nothing but hoes. They ain't nothing but sluts. They ain't nothing but gold diggers. And also they ain't nothing but bitches, but I can't include bitches in my title because it's too long. But yeah, man, they ain't shit. They ain't shit. And the guys in this group are like, man, tell us, Theodore, man, what's up? He's like, man, I got this friend. I ain't gonna say his real name. Let's call him Tommy. Let's call him Tommy. That's not his real name, but we gonna call him Tommy. I got this friend named Tommy, man. Check this out, man. He been married for like about 9 years, right? He got a beautiful wife. You know, he been married to, they got 2 beautiful kids. But guess what? She was cheating on his ass with this womanizing alpha male and shit. You know, that's why I hate them alpha males, man. Alpha males ain't shit, man. Fuck them alpha males, man. They all need to be exterminated, man. Fuck them bad boy alpha males, man. They always erratically employed, man. You know, fuck them, man. Fuck them alpha males, man. But yeah, man, my boy Tommy, his wife was cheating on him with this fucking bad boy type motherfucker, man. See, I told y'all women ain't shit, man. Women ain't shit, man. Because Tommy, man, I know him. I known him since college, man. He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. But he had this bitch of a wife, man, cheat on him, man. You know, with some sorry-ass motherfucker that, man, ain't never had a six-figure job in his life, man. It's fucked up, man. I tell y'all, man, women ain't shit, man. They ain't shit, man. Fuck them, man. Fuck them. You need to avoid women at all costs, man. We all need to go MGTOW, man. We need to go MGTOW, man, and avoid these bitches, because these bitches ain't shit, man. Fuck them, man. Fuck all women, man. I hope they get the welfare cut and the Section 8 cuts and all the cuts they got coming to them, man. Fuck them, man. I want them to live in misery. I want them to be fucked up for the rest of their life. Fuck all these hoes and sluts and gold diggers and bitches. But again, I can't put bitches in the title, man. But fuck all these hoes, man. Fuck them. MGTOW for life, man. Fuck these bitches, man. They ain't shit, man. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. Sometimes I crack myself up. Y'all know that shit's real. If you keep up with the black community on YouTube, you know what I'm saying is real. See, it's the Theodore types, man, that have the most bitterness, man. It ain't the Tyrones by any measure. It ain't the Tyrone types. And for the most part, it ain't the Thomas types. The Theodore types, see, their red pill awareness comes from observation and or hearsay. It comes from observation and or hearsay. It doesn't come from personal experience. Their red pill awareness comes from just reading stories on the internet, reading stuff on social media, watching television, reading stuff in newspapers and magazines, or in this case, hearing stories from one of their boys who they might have went to high school with or college with or work with or whatever. They don't really have, they've never had a woman, they definitely have never had a woman cheat with them. Hell no. Never in their wildest dreams have they had a woman cheat with them. And they've never even had a woman cheat on them because they've never been in a position to attract a woman to become their wife, their fiance, or long-term girlfriend. Or for the most part, even their casual sex lover. These are guys, again, who are usually either virgins or very inexperienced with women. They've had very little experience with women. And because of that, because of the fact that they've never really had a long-term relationship with women, and they've generally been ignored by women and rejected by women, and then they hear a story like about Thomas being cheated on by Tanya because Tanya cheated with Tyrone, and then Tammy told Thomas about Tanya cheating with Tyrone, that just adds more gasoline to their already bitter fire. So that's who has the most bitterness out of the three guys in this red pill world is the Theodores, man. Theodores, man, those are your guys who are going to be like, man, fuck all women. Fuck all of them. I can't stand these bitches, man. Fuck all of them. Because they ain't never had no woman in their life. They ain't had no woman in their life that's loved them and cared for them or even lusted after them. They ain't had no woman like that, man. They ain't had no woman in their life. So going back to this guy's statement on my Facebook timeline that the only division is between red pill and blue pill, that's bullshit. I'm telling you right now, that's bullshit. Again, you got blue pill guys who don't see eye to eye with other blue pill guys, and definitely you got a lot of red pill guys who don't see eye to eye with other red pill guys. And it's because of those three perspectives I just gave you. A Tyrone type red pillar is never going to be on the same page as a Thomas type red pillar. And for the most part, a Thomas red pillar is never going to be on the same page as a Theodore type red pillar. Those three guys are going to be totally different. They're going to look at women's behavior from three totally different perspectives. I guarantee you that. They're going to look at, and see, that's one of the reasons, quite frankly, why I've had issue with a lot of other, not only just, I would say, a lot of other men, and not even more specifically, not just among why I've had beef with other black men, but even more specific than that, why I've had beef with other black men who are red pill aware, is because, again, out of those three perspectives, I come from the Tyrone perspective. 95% of my red pill awareness comes from women cheating with me. That's where I gained just about all of my red pill awareness from, is from women cheating with me. That's when I was most exposed to women's scandalous side and their adulterous side and their unfaithful side and their sexually duplicitous side and manipulative side. It came from women cheating with me. Matter of fact, as far as being cheated on, I don't know if I've ever had a woman admit to me that she cheated on me. I'm not going to say a woman never has cheated on me, but I'll say this. If a long-term girlfriend of mine cheated on me, she didn't admit it to me. The closest I've had to a woman cheating on me was, I had one situation where I was dating a woman and we broke up and then we got back together. And in that period where we were broken up, she actually had sex with her ex-boyfriend, the guy she dated before me. That's the closest situation I've had in my life to a woman cheating on me. But technically, she didn't really cheat on me because we weren't together. Now, she may have while we were together too, and I just didn't know it. But as far as a woman cheating on me and admitting that she cheated on me, I've never had that happen. Yeah, again, the closest I've come to being cheated on was I dated a woman, we broke up, then we dated a second time, and during that period when we broke up, she admitted that she had sex with her ex-boyfriend during that 5-week period that we broke up. But yeah, most other than that, man, just about all my red pill awareness has come from women cheating with me. I can't even relate to the Theodore types of the world. And I've openly said that. And as a matter of fact, that's been one of my criticisms from guys. I've had guys in so many words say that to me. Like, Alan, you don't know how it feels to be a Theodore type. You don't know how it feels to be a Theodore type. You can't relate to us Theodore types of the world. You can't relate to us. And for the most part, they're correct in saying that. I can't. I can empathize with them. And I have had Theodore types as clients. But from a personal experience perspective, I can't relate to the Theodore types. I mean, I can't relate to a guy who's just like never ever had success with women like at all. Like he's never had a girlfriend, never had multiple casual sex lovers. Guys in that category, I can empathize with them. I can share knowledge, wisdom, and insight with them that will hopefully help them improve their love life and sex life. But I can't directly relate to guys in that category. And that's why a lot of them don't like me. So anyway, I think I just went over an hour. I wanted to stay under an hour, but I went over an hour. If I hadn't told all those funny stories and talked about my health, I would have been under an hour. But anyway, I'm going to come back either later on today or tomorrow with a $10 Patreon exclusive video. And then a final reminder, tomorrow, Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a Patreon exclusive live stream test. This will be test number 2. I did one last week for my $10 and up subscribers, and the one tomorrow is for my $5 and up subscribers. So if I don't talk to my people in the free general public again before the Christmas holiday, have a happy holiday weekend, a happy holiday on Monday, and I don't know if I'll talk to you guys during that week. Oh, I'm going to be in Vegas. I want to remind you guys, I'm going to be in Las Vegas on the 27th, 28th, and 29th. I still have an opening. If you're interested, I don't know how many of you plan on traveling to Vegas. Probably not too many at this point, but I actually have one, possibly two openings. I got one opening for an 8-hour session and two openings, or I have two openings for 2 4-hour sessions in Vegas. I got 2 guys booked already. Then I had one guy, he had to back out. So now I have either one opening for an 8-hour session or 2 openings for 2 4-hour sessions. So write me if you think you might be in the Vegas area on either the 27th, the 28th, or the 29th of December. Next week, basically. All right. I'll talk to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Curry.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Curry. The king.
The king.
The king.